This is News You Can Use.
Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions we make in our entire lives. It's the biggest financial decision, and it's a place where we make memories, celebrating life with our family, with our friends, with our neighbors. Yes, buying a home is indeed a big decision, and it's a big blessing. Buying a home can also be one of the most stressful events in our lives. We already have a full-time job, life. And then we take on another full-time job, buying a home and moving, and we're not qualified or trained to do our new full-time job. Talk about on-the-job training. That's what happens when you buy and move. Today, that new job that we take on, that we're generally unqualified and untrained to do, buying a home and moving, it's the most difficult and challenging job that has ever been before in history in that sector of the marketplace. Why? Well, if you're a realtor, you know why. If you're a buyer or a seller, you're about to find out why. My best advice, hire the best realtor and hire the best lender to help to best navigate the most complicated conditions ever in the home buying and home selling marketplace so you can do your job best. Today's housing conditions are indeed unprecedented and are indeed the most complicated ever. And it's all about supply and demand. Simply said, we have a historical high number of buyers and a historically low number of sellers. This supply and demand imbalance is unprecedented and has made the job of buying a home and selling a home more complex than ever. Homes historically take, on average, 2 to 3 months to get under contract. Today, it's 2 to 3 days. These conditions require buyers to do things that they don't normally have to do in their job. Be ready at a moment's notice to see a home the minute it comes on the market. And if the home meets your criteria, you need to make your highest and best offer right now. List price or above list price? How much above list price? Fewer contingencies, of course. Shorter contingencies, of course, for appraisals if it's conventional financing, because the seller doesn't want any contingencies, but they'll take them, but they gotta be short if financing's involved. So what else can you do as a buyer or buyer's agent to ensure that you present the highest and best offer to the seller so you can get the job of buying a home done, your dream home, and you start making memories, which is the point, with family, friends, and neighbors? Here is news you can use. You can help your buyers to select the best lender by using the best criteria to qualify the lender. Most buyers think the best criteria to shop a lender is getting the lowest rate or cost. That's like assuming that the best way to select a doctor or a lawyer is by getting the lowest rate or cost. That's not the case. We select every service professional based on the most important criteria of all. How likely are they as a service provider to help me achieve my desired outcome? The best way to select the best lender, ask 4 questions and require the lender to provide fact-based answers to these questions. The 4 questions: what percentage of the loans your company produced last year were refinances? Nationally, the industry did 64% of his loans, a majority of last year, of refinances. They're experts at refinancing if you want to refinance, but if you want to buy a home and purchase mortgage, Supreme Lending was 80% purchases last year. We're experts at helping your customers secure financing for home purchases. Second, what was the average time it took from application to closing? Nationwide, 54 days it takes a lender to close loans so far this year. Supreme Lending is at 23 days, and it has the ability to close in as few as 8 days when we really need to go fast. That's what sellers want to know. Question number 3, what percentage of the time did you close on the date and time that the contract required? Supreme Lending is 98.7% of the time the money is there. The transaction happens and you get paid. No one's sleeping in hotels and your customer's not moving all their earthly possessions into a storage unit. For everyone else, the industry, they don't even track how often that they close on the target date. I wouldn't pick them, but it's a pretty important number, don't you think, that we close on time? That may be affecting question number 4. What's your company's customer satisfaction rate? McKinsey & Company, one of the largest consulting firms in the world, recently audited the mortgage industry, and the news, well, on customer service wasn't good. When your customer selects a bank, they're only happy 42% of the time. When they choose a non-bank, 52% of the time. When your customer chooses Supreme Lending, they get the job done. They're happy 98.5% of the time. When making one of the biggest decisions in your life as a buyer, buyer's agent, listing agent, my highest and best advice, use my recommended criteria and start with Supreme. This is News You Can Use.